Well, folks, good Sunday morning. Welcome to Three's In. This morning I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Harry. Harry was my friend I met in 2006, and we played together until around 2013 when he passed away. Just a great guy, and I'm so glad he walked into my life. So this one day, Harry was out in his shop, which was behind his house, putzing around. He was always doing something out there. And so I stopped by and walked in to say hi to him, and we got to talking. And as I was about to leave, he says, "Say, Bob," he says, "would you be interested in helping me build a canoe?" And I said, "Hey, Harry," I said, "would you be interested in kissing my ass?" And that's just the kind of way we chatted with each other. And I started coming home. Well, about midway home, I lived about 7, 8 miles from Harry, and about midway home, I got to thinking, you dummy, here's a guy that is a master carpenter, and he offered you the opportunity of a lifetime to work with him and teach you more about what he knows. So I got home and called him back and said, "Harry," I said, "I don't know who that idiot was that responded to you, but I'd love to help you build a canoe." And he says, "Great." He says, "Why don't you come over here next week? We'll get started." So I drove over that next week, which is in February. And Harry had everything set up, had the forms set up, had the strips cut. We were going to make this canoe out of cedar strips. So he had those all cut out and shaped. And so it was just a matter of putting them on the forms and putting them together. So he began showing me how to do it. And I put on that first strip on that cedar strip canoe, and I knew I was hooked. I knew I'd be building those suckers for the rest of my life. It's just that enjoyable. So anyway, I was in there just having a ball, putting those strips on. Takes about 45 minutes, 45 minutes to put a strip on, to glue and clamp it. So we're working in there, and my phone rings. And I looked at the number. I didn't recognize the number. And I'm thinking, well, hell. We were at a place where it was kind of convenient to stop. So I said, "Hello." And this guy says, "Bob, this is John Welker." Well, John Welker had sold us a CRV SUV 5 years ago or something like that. And I said, "Yeah, John, can I help you with something?" He says, "Yeah," he says, "I'm just calling to wish Cheryl a happy birthday." Well, Cheryl was wife 2.0. And I'm thinking, why would you do that and interrupt my day to wish her a happy birthday? First of all, why don't you call her? But anyway, I just went to instant annoyed. So I said, "Oh, John," I said, "I suppose you wouldn't have heard." He said, "What's that?" I said, "Cheryl died." He said, "What?" I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "She's gone." And he's, "Bob, I am so sorry." He says, "Oh my God." He says, "I am so sorry." So he says, "Let me take her off my calling list." And that's what I wanted him to do in the first place. So he apologized profusely for another minute or so until I finally said, "Hey, that's okay. It happens. Take care. Go sell a car. Leave me alone." So I hang up and turn around. Harry's standing there, and he's appalled. He's sitting there looking at me. He says, "You really are an asshole." And I said, "What?" He interrupted me as I was doing something important. And we kind of dropped it at that. Well, turns out Harry and I used to enjoy going over to Amish country about 3 hours from here in southeast Ohio, over to Charm, Ohio, to the Kayam Lumber Yard. Just love that place. It's just a toy store for old retired guys. So, I could call Harry up, and it'd be about 9 o'clock. It was a 3-hour drive, and I call Harry up and say at 9 o'clock, "Hey, Harry," I said, "I'd like to go to Amish today." He says, "I'll be right over." Or he says, "Why don't you come on over and we'll leave from here." But more often than not, we planned it the day before. Now, Harry said he was leaving at 6 o'clock. Harry was leaving at 6 o'clock. If you showed up at 6:02, you missed the opportunity. Well, I knew better than that. I knew Harry, so I was always there at 5:55. And Harry would be sitting in the driveway with a truck pointed out toward the street. And sometimes his wife, Gwyneth, came with us, and other times we just went, the two of us. So anyway, the next time we went to Amish, probably 2-3 weeks after that incident with John Welker, we're riding along, Harry's driving, and we get into Bellevue, Ohio, and we pass the hospital. Well, as we pass the hospital, I'm sitting over there in shotgun. I take off my hat and put it over my heart. And Harry's driving along. He says, "What the hell are you doing?" And I said, "Well, Harry," I said, "my ex-dead wife works over there in the hospital." And I said, "The least I could do is show my respect." Harry thought about it a minute because he'd forgotten the incident. And then I thought he was going to wreck his truck. And we both laughed so damn hard at that. Still funny today when I tell you. But we go over to Amish and, God, I tell you what, it's just like one big toy store. And we just really enjoyed it. Sometimes we'd buy lumber. Other times we just go there to see what they had. I guess for a couple of years, about once a month, every 6 weeks, we'd be going over to Amish. And like I said, sometimes Gwyneth would come along and she'd sit in the back. And Harry and I'd be talking. She just sat back there trying not to laugh, just shaking her head at the two of us. But we just had a ball. And right up until he passed away, he got to where it was a real struggle to walk and struggle to sit. But I'd go over there. I might not have needed anything, but I just wanted to spend the time with Harry. Such a dear friend. So today I'm taking a moment to think of you, Harry, and God bless you. And thanks for teaching me how to build canoes. Take care, brother.